Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the newest palette release from Marc Jacobs. It's part of their coconut collection and it is the iconic palette in Fantascene. It retails for $64 on the Sephora website, and inside the palette you're getting 7 shadows. I'm just going to read a little bit of information from the Sephora website. It says it's a long-wearing eyeshadow palette in a glossy white compact. It says it features 7 shades in 4 fashion finishes: velvet, satin, silk, and lame to layer and dress your eyes. Buttery matte velvet, shimmering satin, sparkling silk, and metallic lame. This limited edition palette in a glossy white case features the same super plush shadow formulation as the original iconic, covering lids in lasting velvety rich pigment. And another little cute thing that they note is that if you read the palette names on the back, it creates a little poem. So, here we go. Flesh covets fantasy. She said, meet you for more on the dance floor. I am going to swatch the shadows for you and then let you know my thoughts on this overall. Alright, so there are the shadows there. I'll start over here and you get to hear the poem again. So this is Flesh covets fantasy. She said, meet ya for more on the dance floor. Now the description on the Sephora page says that there are 4 finishes, as I mentioned: velvet, satin, silk, and lame. I'm guessing this is pretty much the only lame one. Lame? Oh, forgive me. But it says shimmering satin and sparkling silk. I can't tell the difference between a shimmer and a sparkle. They're kind of the same thing. And when I look at them, like, this is the most metallic. These two definitely have like a hint of shimmer, like a, oh god, I guess it would help if I put them in frame. So this one I think is the lame. These two have a little bit of a shimmer to them, so those might be the shimmering, they could be the shimmering satin or the sparkling silk. I don't know. And then the rest of them look fairly matte to me. So in my estimation, there's 3 finishes. They claim there's 4. They're the experts, not me, but the difference is quite subtle. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I want to rave about this. I do. It's $64 for that. I should be raving. I just can't. I'm going to bump you in to show you what my biggest complaint with the palette is, so bear with me. Okay, so I applied my eye makeup at about 11 this morning. It is now 10 to 3, so 4 hours. For this portion here, I used She Said, which is this shade here. I have 4 more sort of buffed into the outer corner and then up into the crease and under my lower lash line, and then to blend that all out, I use this shade here, which is Fantasy. The inner corner highlight that you might see and a little bit on the brow bone is Mary Lou Manizer? Cindy Luminizer? Some luminizer thing from the Balm, I can't remember which one. It's just a little tiny sample pan, so I can never remember the name of it. This packed far more of a punch when I first applied it. It's been 4 hours, and I have not really done anything aside from play with my kids and feed the baby. I haven't been rubbing my eyes, I haven't been wearing glasses, I haven't been outside running around. I haven't really been doing anything, and it's already faded. So, I mean, as with any makeup, it comes down to personal preference. I happen to like high velocity shine on my shimmer shadows, if you know what I mean. I don't really like them to be subtle. I like the brightness that they bring. Frankly, with my deep set eyes and dark circles, I kind of need the brightness just to make it look more alive. And this just underperforms in my estimation. I mean, I can't really fault the other shadows. Like, I'm just going to call them all matte because they frankly look matte to me. The three up here and then the dark brown. The dark brown does produce kick up. I've talked about that before. I'm not terribly fussy about kick up. I think a lot of higher quality shadows do that. I think there's something with the pigmentation and the formulation. So that in and of itself is not a complaint for me. They are smooth. They do blend nicely. You do have to kind of work with the brown just because it is so dark in comparison to the rest of the shadows. But like this one down here on the dance floor, it's supposed to be like a shimmery sort of peach color. Once it's applied, all of that shimmer is gone. You can't really detect it. Obviously this pink one that I'm wearing, it dulls quite quickly throughout the day, and I experienced that to a lesser degree with the copper shade, just because I think it's more intense to begin with, so it's going to last longer. But again, the more you wear it or the more you blend it, the less intense that shine's going to be. So for me, I don't personally like that. If you like a softer look, you might really enjoy this palette. I really can't fault the quality of the shadows. It's just, for me, it's not my favorite. It's really not speaking to me. In terms of the actual color selection, I mean, it's a very safe release on their part, because again, it's in this warm, some neutral shadows in there, that kind of comfort zone that a lot of brands seem to default to when they're releasing palettes. I know Marc Jacobs has come out with more colorful options in these iconic palettes, so I'm not knocking the brand at all. And it is very summer appropriate with the pinks and the coppers and all that kind of thing. But I'm going to just, because there's not a lot for me to say about this, I'm just going to give you some alternative options that you might want to consider if you don't want to spend $64 on 7 shadows. So I've got a few of them sitting in front of me here. They're not dupes, but they have sort of that same warm vibe to them. So the first one I'll show you is one of the minis from, I think it's the only mini from Natasha Denona. This is $30. You're getting 5 shadows, but again, it's the same kind of idea with the warm browns, the copper shades. Again, they're not dupes at all, but you do have like that cranberry element there. These do perform beautifully. They do last really well on the eyes. There's 4 of them there. Again, that nice high shine with the metallics. You're getting that same copper shade and then a nice deep brown to build it out as well and add dimension. So that's a good option for you. If you're looking for more variety but along the same kind of lines, the Soft Glam palette from ABH is a good option. Again, not a dupe, but if I hold them up side by side, you can kind of see familiar elements in both of them. They are on the warm neutralish side. There are pinks, there's coppers, there's softer browns, there's warmer shades in there. In here you're getting 14, in here you get 7. This one's 64, this one's 55. So this one obviously gives you a lot more to play with. If I had to pick one, this is the one that I would pick because you can really go in any direction with this one. Whereas here, pretty much all of your looks are going to end up being on the softer side just by nature of the shadows themselves. If you're looking to bring the price point down a bit, but still have a good selection of high quality shadows to play with, I've got 4 more options. So coming in at $35 is the Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions palette. There it is there. Again, that copper is the nice central element. Here, all the rest of them are mattes, but you can go soft using these ones. You can really vamp it up over here. You can do just like this across the lid with this into the crease just to have a really easy, almost one and done kind of look. This is just a very versatile palette, and I have a dedicated review on just this palette. I'll stick it up in the cards if you want to take a look. There's an eye tutorial with it as well. But these little palettes are fantastic and the quality is amazing. Speaking of amazing quality, Juvia's Place. This one is the Saharan palette. You can usually get them on sale for about $20 US on their website. And again, not a dupe, but lots of overlap in shades in terms of those warm colors and the copper shades as well. And these shadows are phenomenal. They are just such high quality shadows. There they are there on my fingers, a few of them. The mattes are every bit as nice to work with as the metallic shades. The metallic shades last throughout the day. The mattes blend beautifully, even those really dark like the black, it still blends really nicely and easily. So these palettes are very, very good and I highly recommend them. And then I have two more, both from ColourPop. These are each retailing for $16 US on the ColourPop website. Over here we have the Kathleenlights collaboration, the Dream Street palette. So again, I think I can stop bringing up the Marc Jacobs ones to compare. You can see there's a lot of versatility in this palette and I am so impressed with the price point and the quality that you get at this price point. There are 4 of the shades there. Again, the mattes are stunning. The pigment in them is amazing. And then those metallics are just beautifully foiled shadows. And then last but not least is the Yesplease palette from ColourPop. And this one is likely to be one of the closest ones to the Marc Jacobs here. I got both of them in frame. So again, very, very warm in nature. Obviously it has the yellows in there, but it has the pink tones. It has a metallic pink. It doesn't have the same true copper shade that the Marc Jacobs has, but there are some gold reflective ones. The mattes are beautiful, and again, those foiled shadows just really, really knock it out of the park, to be honest. So there you have some options to choose from if you like the look of this, but the price tag kind of turns you off, or you're like me and you really like a lot of shine with your metallic shadows. Those other ones are all excellent choices and they're all going to come in under this one. So for me, this is just, it's okay. I mean, it's good quality. It's just personally not something that I particularly enjoy and not something that I can see myself really gravitating towards. So there you have it, guys. Those are my thoughts on the Fantascene palette from Marc Jacobs, such as they are. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now. Ougie. That's how he says Aspen. It's so